Good morning. Let me just take my sweatshirt off because the arms are too long. All right. How is everyone? It's Friday. Does anyone remember that song? It's like, gotta get down on Friday or something like that. I don't know. I'm trying to do that thing like when you get into a funk to like defunkify yourself, you know? So today we're doing flowers, this little guy. So in the original, I used 4 colors. You don't have to use 4 colors. You can use 1 color for the outside, 1 color for the middle bit, and 1 color for the French knots if you want. Or you can use the same colors twice. It's really up to you. Hi, Kim. Hi, Meg. And Carolyn is here. Hello. So, just a disclaimer. It doesn't have to be exactly the way that I do it. Do you know what I mean? You can always, make your own choices. And it's your own hoop, so you don't have to do... Whoa. It wasn't me. It was this, okay? Goodness. Yeah, so all I'm saying is that you can choose your own colors. That's it. A bit rambly today, I guess. Right, so we're going to start all 6 strands, and we're going to do all these little petals like this. And it is satin stitch again, but they don't have to be so perfect. So in the ones that we did before, like especially the leaf from yesterday, if you're doing leaves, if not, I'll just show you. So yesterday we did some satin stitches here, and they kind of all had to be lined up in the same. But this one, you don't really have to. They're all going to be straight, but they don't have to be so perfect. Yeah, I feel like it's just been like a crazy week. Do you know what I mean? Like our coffee maker, not exploded, but like leaked water all over everything. So I was meant to send a package out on Saturday or Monday maybe. And the box got all wet, so I have to repackage all of that. I'm just zooming in so that you can have a look. Because they are satin stitches. However, you can tell I'm just making them all willy-nilly into the middle of the flower. So they don't have to stop exactly in a line here. They can be a bit jagged. So yeah, so the coffee maker thing. And then we went out and got a new coffee maker, which I still haven't used yet. So I think on Tuesday maybe. Yes, that is your package. Oh, I didn't even know you were in here. Sorry, babe. Yeah, so she's asked me, I forgot your name, I'm sorry. But she's asked me to get her some graham crackers from America. And so I got 2 packs for her, and I got 2 packs for me. And I'm not even joking. One of your packs and both of my packs, the box is soaking wet. So I tried to dry the box out, like to send it to you, but it's just not happening. It's definitely not happening. So I've just taken the graham crackers out of the box. They come in like vacuum sealed packs. Do you know what I mean? So I've taken them out of the box, and I've taken a picture of the box once it's been dried, so you can like see it at least. Oh, it's been a week. Let me tell you. Yeah, so that's what I did in the end. I've thrown the box away, and I've packaged up the other bits, the other ones. So it's all ready to go out in the post office today. Oh yeah, I'll definitely tell you how to make them. I'll message you in the chat, in our chat. It's like super easy. Some s'more chat. Okay, so just a little note about this real quick. You notice that I'm just going back and forth, sticking it in wherever, doesn't matter. So you can tell that even these ones are not all kind of even or anything like that, doesn't matter. Personally, I like to start in the middle and then do each side, but that's just a weird thing that I have. You don't have to do it that way. I find when I do it in the middle for a little bit, do a couple in the middle, and then the other side, I kind of know how low to put the ones on the sides so that it looks like they're, you can't see my hands now, that's perfect. So it looks like they're kind of curved like this, whereas if I start with this one, sometimes I get a bit too low or too high so that it ends up looking like a box. Yeah. So back to what I was talking about before, we got that new coffee machine and I still haven't used it because I don't know how. And David comes home like in the evenings, like at nighttime. And he's been coming home at like 5:30 or 6. And that's a bit late to be making, you have to make 4 or 5 cups of coffee before you get like a good one. So we're like, well, do we make 4 or 5 cups of coffee at 6 o'clock? And then finally we get to drink a cup of coffee and then we'll be up all night. Don't know. So if you have one of those fancy coffee machines with the 2 little, the milk steamer and like I think it's called a pump one, because we want to get away from the pods. We had a pod coffee machine, Dolce Gusto coffee pod one, trying to save the environment and all that. So we decided to get one of these with the espresso to make like lattes and the fancy ones. And now we're just like, we don't know how to use it. How's everyone getting on? Are you doing the Stitchalong? Are you just watching? What's going on? Have you got one of those machines, Elizabeth? Oh, that's a good idea. Someone says you should make the 5 coffees one evening and throw them all away, and then the machine will be ready for the next morning. I feel like smelling all of that coffee will just be like, hi, George. We'll like really want to have coffee. Kim is watching at work. Sneaky, sneaky. Mega's stitching. Yeah, so I've heard a lot that practice makes perfect with the coffee. I'm still on the coffee thing. Sorry, guys. I really want to try it, but I have no idea how to use it. I'm afraid it's going to like blow up. I'm going to like take milk everywhere or something. Oh, she says, I'm just watching today. You're stitching too fast for me. Sorry. Because there's lots of steps for this one. I feel like if I went too slow, then people would be like, oh my God, this video is like 3 hours long. Okay, so after you've done all the little petals, again, they're just, ooh, that's a good idea too. Okay, so Carolyn says, it's 5 a.m. here, too early to be stitching. totally agree. Elizabeth said, save it in the fridge and make iced coffees for the next morning. That is brilliant. Okay, I might try to make one today. Maybe I'll video it and then you guys can laugh with me. So after you get all of these little satin stitches done, and I'm using that term loosely because they're not all like really smooth, or they're just kind of straight stitches that are all in a row to fill up a space, which is basically what satin stitch is anyways. But they don't have to be perfect. So a lot of times with satin stitch, it's meant to look really smooth, all really kind of in line together, no overlapping. With this one, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It doesn't have to be perfect. So it's like a loose satin stitch. So after you've done all of the little petals, I'm just going to flip her over, tie a knot, and then I'm going to get a kind of light orange color to do the outer ring of that. Crochet Delis. Crochet Deli says, your work is very beautiful. Well, thanks, babes. That's very kind of you. So earlier I chose this kind of very bright orange, but I think it will look all right with the pink that I've chosen. And someone said earlier, how long of a thread do you use? So like it's always hard to show here because I'm always so zoomed in. So let me just take this away. But this is how long I'm using for the orange bit. It's too long, I can tell you that already. Yeah, but a good rule of thumb is that a lot of people say that if you hold the thread like this and go to your elbow, the inside of your elbow, like your forearm, that should be enough. So you can tell this is double that. Well, more than double that. And that's just because I've worked with threads a lot. So I kind of know how to make it not get knotted up and like tangled in things. Whereas maybe if you're new, you might want to keep to a little bit shorter threads. I nearly just dropped my needle on the floor. Because you really don't want it to be tangled. It's just going to waste time, make you frustrated. It's not a good way to start off. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, like obviously with stitches that you know you're going to use a lot of thread. So for this one, because you're going down and then back up here, then down again, you're basically doing the same thing on the front as you are on the back. So here's the front. And the back also uses a lot of thread. So I will cut it a little bit longer because I know for sure I'm going to use a lot of thread for this one. Whereas things like French knots, you're not going to use that much. So you can make it a little bit shorter, but you also need enough slack in the thread so that you can wrap it around. So the longest answer in the world is that it's a personal preference. Elizabeth says, I wanted to do a think. I can see a little bit and thought I would have been much different than it is. Wish I would have done this now. You still can. It's never too late. All the videos from the first day all the way until now are all saved on YouTube, babe. So after every live video, I end the video, save it, then I upload it onto YouTube. So if you cannot watch live, then you can just play it through there. So at the moment, we're doing the odd days. So like the 1st, the 3rd, the 5th of September are leaves. And then the 2nd, 4th, 6th, 8th, are all flowers. So today must be the 6th because we're doing a flower. So yeah, not too late to start at all. You can get all your stuff from Hobbycraft as well. Okay, so for this one, we're going to go into these stitches, obviously from the back or from the top like this. And I'll show you both ways. And we're going to go just until this line here. So just this outer ring we're going to fill up. And you really don't need a lot of stitches for this. All 6 strands. So you're either going to come up from the middle here and go down into this one, or you can come up through this one like that and then down into the middle. I'm showing you both ways because you can also save thread by doing it that way. So I came up here and then down and then up and then down. So actually on the back, you can see I haven't used very much thread. Just that little bit. Yeah? Okay, I totally get it now. I'm sorry, Elizabeth. She says, I thought this would have been much different than I thought it was. I can see a little bit and should be able to do this. I can sew a little bit and should be able to do this. Sorry. I read the other comment and was like, I know what she's saying, but I'm not sure that I can understand this comment. I'm sorry, babe. So you can see I brought up a little bit of the knot from the other one. And all you need to do there is just pull it out. And that should be all right now. Yeah, so for the orange, you're not going to use that much thread because there really isn't that many stitches. So you can tell even I've done 2 stitches there and like almost this whole kind of petal is filled up. So you really won't use that much thread. You really won't do that many. And make sure that you're not putting them all in a kind of straight line. You kind of want them to be a little bit jagged, a little bit staggered. Just makes it look a little bit interesting, I think. After this, I have to start making all of the Christmas ideas that I have. I know it's like really early for the C word, September in it, but gotta start doing it. Gotta start doing it. So that should be interesting. I'll do some we've got one person watching from bed because she's sick. And Meg said, no, it's not. No, it's not like too early for Christmas for the C word. Did you guys see that like all of the department stores have got their Christmas stuff? Oh, she says it's not early. She started shopping last night. From bed. That's when all the best shopping gets done. All of the department stores are like getting all of their Christmas stuff out already. It's nuts. I honestly cannot believe it. I mean, I started doing some of my stuff before I left for holiday. Kim says, I've been doing Christmas since July. Mike says, it's never too early. She already got some things in the basket. Oh, good. I don't feel so bad now because last year I had all my Christmas stuff done before I left for holiday in the States. And then I right when I got back, I was like, boom, Christmas. It is time. Here's all my stuff. And everyone was like, nope, we're not here for this. Not interested. Too early. You skipped autumn and fall. What about Halloween? If you're American, what about Thanksgiving? People were not happy. So this year I was like, okay, so I'll wait. I'll have some ideas before I go. And then when I get back from holiday, then I'll start making them and kind of figure out, make samples of what I want to make and everything. But goodness gracious. Yeah, last year people were not happy. They were like, no. Right, so after you've done a whole circle like this, she says, are you always starting one line next to the other with the orange? What do you mean, one line next to the other? So all we're doing is we're just making a little kind of ring around that goes into these. So you kind of want them to be lined up, but they don't have to be that neat or that lined up, if you know what I mean. So after you've kind of done your ring, I'm just going to wait for her to answer. If there's any spaces where there's not, that you need to kind of add another stitch, you can do that now whilst you have the orange. So for example, there's a little space here. You can't really tell, but I'm going to add another one there just to fill it up. And that's why I remember when we were doing these pink ones, I said it didn't really matter how neat or even it was on this end, because we're going to fill it up with orange. And that's why, because we overlapped the orange into the pink. So actually it doesn't really matter how neat and nice it looked. Hello. Okay, so French knots again. French knots are always great on flowers because they really just fill in the space and they make it look like the center. So I'm going to do the bright yellow from the first day. All 6 strands, but I'm only going to wrap it one time. And I'm just going to fill around the circle, and I'm going to do one really light yellow one in the middle. Of course, all the knots are right here too. Okay, good. So she was just trying to understand if there was any space between the orange threads. So there really shouldn't be, because it's 6 strands. It will be a little bit thicker. So for example, if you decided that you really don't like working with all 6 strands, you don't have to use all 6. You can use 4, you can use 3, you can use 2. And you can do that, like I said before, just by untwisting this, pulling out the ones that you want, and then putting them together. So if you wanted 3 strands, you can just pull out 3, or you can untwist 3. But you will need more stitches to make it look full. Yeah, so for example, this one I only did 3 stitches here. 1, 2, 3. If you only had 3 strands, maybe you would have to do 6 or 8 stitches to make it look full. And you would have to have more of a zigzaggy pattern to where you placed your stitches, so that it didn't look all in a straight line. Unless you want it to look like it's in a straight line, that's okay too. I know there's a knot right here. Ooh, someone does not like 6 strands. I find that if you do have 6 strands, then the right needle is like really important. Like this needle, it's just every time I stitch now, I'm reminded that I lost my favorite needle. So this needle is not my favorite needle. This is just one that I picked up from the antique box. I feel like I should show you that the old needle thing that I have where she kept all of her needles. But oh my gosh, you need the right needle. It makes it so much easier to pull it through, to get everything, just everything is so much more smooth when you have the right needle. So before you say that you don't like 6 strands, try a couple different needles. And I actually do have some out because someone else was asking about needles. They were literally in Joann's, which is a like fabric and craft store in America. And they were like, I need to know what needle to buy. Which one should I buy? I'm like, here right now. So I was like, oh gosh, okay, let me go and grab all my stuff. So I gave her some suggestions, but again, it's very personal. So it kind of like has to feel right for you, if that makes any sense. I do have them right here, so I'll grab them. So these are the 2 that I picked up after I lost my needle to try to figure out which ones I should get. So I know some people like these Chanel needles, and they're actually really good to get the, Kim says, yeah, I struggle because most of my needles are really little and have a tiny eye. Yeah, that's no fun. And like when you the more that you struggle, you want it to be easy, but not like too easy, if that makes any sense. So the Chanel needles, they have a really big eye, but I find that they're too thick. They're too fat for what I like. So this is the closest one that I could come to my old needle. I'm just going to put it here so that you can see. Okay, and then, whoops, wrong way. And then these are the Chanel needles. So I kind of want one that's like that thickness, but I want that length. So even though this is only a little bit shorter, it's like not right. So like it feels not right. I find that I want like I want a really pointy end, and I want it to be kind of slim, but then I want the eye to be a bit bigger. And this one just is not doing it for me. So I also picked up these DMC needles like this, which they take a lot of boxes because they are pointy, they're thinner, but the eye's not as big as I would like it to be. So again, it's a really small thing, but do you see how bigger that one is than that? It's like not that much bigger, but it does make a big difference. So yeah, you can try these ones. They have the sizes 1 to 5. So I'm assuming that, or maybe it's 1 and 5 because, or maybe 1, 3, and 5, I'm guessing. And then these ones are size 18 to 22. If you like the bigger needles. But real quick whilst I'm here. So this is what the lady, I don't know if she's alive or she's dead, but this is what she kept all her needles in. I have no idea what year this is from. But Carolyn says, I have to run. Thanks for today's video. Everyone have a great day. Oh, thanks. I hope you have a great day too. So this is what it is. And I literally just pulled one out and was like, oh, this one looks good. And that's what I've been using. So actually, Kim, maybe I should send some of these to you. because they look like perfect for what you're describing. But they all have really tiny eyes. Do you see? They're really, really small. This one is for 2 different strands. So you can put 2 different colors in there. So yeah, I'm still on the hunt for the perfect needle. So if you find one like I've described, tell me. We only have one more French knot to do, so this is probably the longest video so far. Also, David wanted some cushions for his classroom and like a little rug. So we got some from IKEA, and they're meant to be coming today between 10:23 and 11:23. Isn't that so specific? Oh, goodness. There we go. That's the whole flower finished. Sorry it was so long today. Just waffling on. But once you get going, it won't take you that long. So there we go. All finished. Again, you can use any colors that you want. You can use blues. You can get whatever you feel like. Purples, pinks, yellows, whichever colors that you like. Kim says they are mega tiny. I'm starting to struggle threading my favorite needle as the tiny eye has been squashed when I'm trying to pull through the French knots. Oh dear. Oh dear. I hope that it holds out for you, because after I lost mine, I'm not even kidding, it has been a struggle. A struggle. All right, well, that's it from me and my horrible needle. I hope you guys have a great day. I cannot wait to repost all of your stories or grid posts. And yeah, have a great Friday, and I will see you tomorrow for leaves, I hope. All right? See you later. Bye. Oh my God, Kim, it is like losing an arm. I was devastated. Okay, I'm going to DM you about this because I feel like this is going on too long. Bye.